It's 24/7 from New York City, and we have arrived. It is the 1998 NBA playoffs, and the race is now really on for that championship ring. We bring you action from the first round, plus the usual selection of 24/7 treats. Philadelphia may be gone, but Scoop Jackson's still got plenty of NBA love for Allen Iverson. From the east side and the west side, it's knockout action from round one of those playoffs. The sparks are flying in the east, and this year it's war. Arch rivals New York clash with Miami. They fought to get a final spot in the East, but can New Jersey handle the pressure against Chicago? In Hoopology, Dave Lewis looks at the art of being the sixth man. Seattle are one of the best teams in the West, but Kevin Garnett in Minnesota will be looking to give them some stress. Will Portland prove to be a pushover for the mighty Shaq Daddy and his red-hot LA Lakers? And in Soup, we've got more basketball gossip with a beat. But first, it's over to Mr. Lewis, who couldn't be more excited about being your guide through the playoffs.
My palms are sweaty, my throat is dry. It's playoff time. You know, that mad, crazy time when teams get thrown into the pressure cooker. It's a real adrenaline rush. So how does it work? Simple. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference. These 8 teams made it into the playoffs. In the first round, there are 4 winners who advance to the second round. Then the 2 survivors duke it out for the right to represent the East in the NBA Finals. It works the same way in the Western Conference. Remember, the 8 teams are seeded according to their regular season records, and they compete in a knockout tournament for the right to party against the beast from the East. You can get some fame in the regular season, but in the playoffs you can become a legend. Just ask last year's heroes.
Chapman for the tie! Oh! He whacked it! Eddie at the buzzer! Yeah! Oh, mother!
He's got a shot. Here's the 3 for the game. They go to Chicago! Utah goes to Chicago!
Here's Jordan. Did not have the shot.
The Bulls know that you have to show some grit, because without pain, there ain't no game. And they know what it takes to win at crunch time. They've got 5 titles in the last 7 years. They've got the will of Michael Jordan.
A courageous, classic performance by the blue-ribbon Michael Jordan.
And the desire of Dennis Rodman.
Oh, look at Rodman dive.
Utah almost had it last year against the Bulls, but they didn't have the game to win the big prize. This new rivalry might have a different twist this year. Hey, playoff rivalries can bring out the best and the worst in teams. Just ask Miami and New York. Last year was a war between these 2 teams, and they clash again this year. Some teams like the Spurs have the goods in the regular season, but have known to choke when the playoffs start. Rookie Tim Duncan might change all that this year. But the New Jersey Nets are just happy to be invited to the party. They haven't been to the playoffs in 4 years. Their prize, match up with the world champion Bulls. When the money's on the line, some guys just know how to spend it. And you better keep your eyes on these guys in the playoffs. Indiana's Reggie Miller has ice water in his veins.
He got it! Reggie Miller!
LA's Big Shaq is on a mission to destroy. Seattle's Gary Payton can steal your heart away.
Steal by Payton. Payton in the open court over to Hawkins.
And Michael Jordan owns this time of the year.
Now to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes!
In the 1998 playoffs, it's all about who can beat Chicago in the East. In the West, it's a little more wide open. Utah are looking for revenge and are hungry for a title. Seattle have the speed, the heart, and Vin Baker on their side. And the Lakers, well, they have youth and a Superman on their team who can save the day. You know what? I think it's about time for a new NBA champion. On Friday, the time was here for New York to put up or shut up. They said they wanted Miami in the playoffs, and now they got them. The Heat unleashed the Hounds right away.
Here's Warning, kicks it outside to Hardaway for 3. What a way to open the night. Morning guarded by Oakley. Marley, 3 points.
The outside barrage continued as Miami built the lead. Tiny Tim Hardaway scored 14 points in the first quarter to jack the Heat's lead to 13. Miami's big man Alonzo Mourning got frustrated by his foul trouble and his teammates picked up the slack to give the Heat a 20-point lead. Man, it seemed like the Knicks were daydreaming in the first half.
Mills misses the layup. Then the rejection, loose ball. Murdoch. Marley. Murdoch. Celebrate.
New York was feeling queasy and uneasy about their chances early in the third quarter. Nick killer Tim Hardaway made them even sicker. But wait a New York minute, the Knicks showed some life. Their go-to guy, Allen Houston, found his shot to throw some fuel on the fire. Here comes the Broadway Bullies making a comeback.
And Leonard with a nice job. There's a loose ball. Chased down and saved by John Starks. One on the shot clock. Yes! Oh, my. Oh, man!
In the fourth quarter, the Knicks pulled to within 8 points, but Timmy was there to break New York's hearts once again. Hardaway went for 34 points on the night as Miami takes game one in the series on their home court. The Heat are looking mighty confident against the bitter rivals from up north. With the playoffs taking off this week, I gotta pay my respect to the players who did not get invited to the party and give them a big shout out for getting loose on the dance floor. Take it away, fellas. The Detroit Pistons came up short this year, but Grant Hill was huge.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Grant Hill. Oh, my.
It was the miracle shots that made these teams so fun to watch.
Got to get a shot off a smuggling defense. Sabalos.
Yes! Oh, my goodness! How did he hit the shot, Walker? When you're hot, you are hot.
But when you're really hot, the shots just keep on falling. The Warriors had a tough season, but Muggsy made it better.
Shot clock at 1. Bogues flips it up there. Oh, wow! What a shot from Muggsy Bogues!
Bogues gets a step, goes in. Wild shot. My goodness, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. These players know how to dish the rock. How'd they miss the playoffs? Elliot Perry didn't miss a streaking Ray Allen for the Milwaukee Bucks. And the Washington Wizards just missed getting into the playoffs. They did get some glamour on this Jim Jammin' play. The question, who's the most electrifying, death-defying, high-flying player? Here comes the answer. It's the main man from Philadelphia.
Oh, no! Allen Iverson. Are you kidding me? Wow.
Man, Iverson's game is just too big. I think he deserves some NBA love.
Simon says, peep this. There's always one moment in someone's life that defines them. Simon says for Philly's Allen Iverson, it was the double crossover he did to Shake Jordan last year. The move, it was sick. So sick, yo, I almost caught the flu. Check this. 1, 2. No, Mike, over here. Psych! I know you're the greatest player ever. But Simon says, Mike, take this out the net when you get off the floor. Allen Iverson, kid's got more front than Brighton Beach. Simon says there's nothing Allen Iverson can't do. Got mad game. This is a player who's better than his height. Crossover to die for. Finger rolls, assists, rebounds, steals. Iverson's got it all. Simon says Allen Iverson is the one brother in the NBA who always keeps it real. Proud, hard attitude that says, it's mine. Mad quick though. Blink, he'll catch you sleeping.
Iverson, yes!
Gone. Ghost. But it all comes down to that one move on Jordan, though. Question was answered for all non-believers. Rewind the tape. Simon says don't hate Allen Iverson because he's gifted. Other players just pray that he won't drop that fake on him. They call him the answer. The future of the NBA rests on his braided dome. The next NBA basketball millennium belongs to him. Simon says so.
Chicago's Michael Jordan said that his team would have to be on sleeping pills to lose to New Jersey. Well, the Nets were wide awake in Game 1 against the NBA champs. Their defense showed up in the first quarter and sparked a fast break. Kerry Kittles was a one-man wrecking crew as he drove the rock to the rack to give the Jersey boys a 9-point lead. But remember, these aren't the chumps, these are the champs. And when Rodman does his thing, the Bulls can be unbearable. Just ask Keith Van Horn, he was suffering from a stomach virus, and Sam Cassell was hampered by a sore leg. The Bulls went up by 6 points at the half. In the third quarter, Jordan went to work carving up Jersey. When Scottie Pippen was adding to the pleasure, he scored 24 points. Tony Kukoc gave the Bulls a 12-point lead with a killer three-pointer. It wasn't looking good for the Nets, but in the fourth quarter, Chicago went a little cold. New Jersey had a chance.
And Jason Williams trying to fight for the offensive rebound and wins it. What a great hustle play. And Kendall Gill leads it in. Down by only 8 points. That is an amazing score. Pretty swing roll from Douglas to Jason Williams.
The Bulls were scoring, but the Nets were hanging right in there.
Gatling working against Kukoc, and he gets free and ties the game.
The Bulls were getting concerned.
Here's Jordan working against Kittles on the turnaround. Michael Jordan now with 31 points. Gatling has 9 of the last 12 points. And Chris Gatling gives the Nets the lead by 1.
Jersey was showing no fear. Eventually, the Bulls tied the game and had a chance to win it in the final seconds. Tony Kukoc's fling came up short. The game went into overtime, and that's when the Bulls' defense turned it up a notch. MJ led the charge.
Kittles has it knocked away by Michael Jordan. Basket and a foul. Michael Jordan can give the Bulls a 3-point lead with a critical defensive play.
Then Scottie Pippen ended the Nets' dreams with this big block. The Bulls better stay away from those sleeping pills. They win game 1 on the heels of their defense.
I made a good steal, then Scottie comes right back and makes a good block. So, I mean, defense wins championships. We know that, and tonight we showed that.
If you're into b-ball, why not get into the NBA Mad Skills Tour presented by Nike and Channel 4? If you're 11 to 18, you could join our one-day clinic. It's free, just write in for an application form and a list of venues. The address is Mad Skills 2, P.O. Box 415, Peterborough, PE1, 1QW. Or just check the Channel 4 website, www.channel4.com, for the latest info. Don't forget, 4 lucky participants will meet Seattle Sonics superstar Gary Payton later this year, so get on the case.
You're on the sidelines. You're a bit amped, juiced, pumped up. The adrenaline is rushing. You can't wait to get into the game, change the game. And then the coach puts you in. And that's when everything gets exciting. 5 players start the game. The 6th man is the crazy mad cat who can flat out push the attack. You footballers call him the super sub. This role is so important that the NBA gives out an annual 6th man award. Kevin McHale was the 6th man for the Celtics in the early 80s. He created matchup problems for opposing teams with his long arms and deadly low-post game. If McHale was so good, why didn't he get to start? The answer is, teams will often use their second-best player as the main man off their bench at key points in the game. John Starks has been New York's second scoring option behind Patrick Ewing for years.
Starks, yes!
He used to start, but now he comes off the pond to pump life into New York's lifeless offense. His fiery personality is ideal for the Energizer's role and earned him the 6th man award last year. Tony Kukoc provides a lift for the Bulls. When he comes in, you can't double Michael and Scottie, or Tony will burn you like your mom's toast. And Mario Elie boosted the Rockets towards 2 championships from the bench. He was knocking down some monster shots. Approach the bench. You gotta have more than 1 extra player to win a championship. In fact, it's usually 3. In 1995, Orlando was stacked with a great starting 5. You have Shaq, Penny, Grant, Anderson, and Scott. When it came to their bench, the tank was empty. What happened to them? Swept by the Rockets in the finals.
Final seconds, Anderson, the Houston Rockets have swept the Orlando Magic.
Spark plug off your bench can only make your starters better when you're driving towards a championship. And that's a 6th sense some teams just don't have. Hey, on Thursday night, the Phoenix Suns' Danny Manning was named this year's top 6th man. Seattle's Gary Payton is battle-tested in the playoffs. But but his buddy Vin Baker is tasting the postseason for the first time. In Game 1 of their series against underdog Minnesota, Baker had no jitters. He looked like he's seen it all before. The Timberwolves wanted to howl, but Vinny kept them quiet by bringing in the noise and bringing in the funk.
Vin Baker is just having his way. Curley came on the double, left Baker open, and Baker missed a jump shot about that shot.
The Sonics boomed at the end of the first quarter. Time for some glove love.
Perkins the rebound. Sonics have got time here. Payton. That hurts.
Seattle had a 10-point lead, and it just kept getting worse for the young Wolves. Gary Payton was at it again.
Baker's got 7 boards.
Oh, no. Not that one, Gary Payton.
The Sonics were giving dance lessons. The Wolves could not keep up with the quick tempo. Seattle's defense knew the steps and went to work in the second half. They expanded their lead to 24 points.
Baker.
Vin Baker had a huge game, scoring 25 points with some in-your-face disgrace that made Minnesota a loser. The Sonics grab a 1-0 lead in the series. They should be happy about the result. I said happy. You know what I mean, Gary.
So here we are again, and it's our first playoffs soup, which means from this point forward it's eyes down all the way to the finals in June, when apparently there's some other finals as well, which no doubt you've all got tickets for. I believe it's called the World Cup or something like that. So the two beautiful games have got that in common, but there is more than just a month. I mean, look who managed to slip around the back of my back four in Madison Square Garden only the other week. Collymore! There's a bit of a surprise. Stan Collymore, welcome along to a strange ball game. How are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, it's cool. Obviously, first time been to the Garden, but enjoying the game, and I think I'm bringing the Knicks a bit of luck at the moment.
You certainly are. They're doing very well. Are you a fan anyway of the game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Jordan and the Bulls gets more airplay at home than most, but yeah, I wanted to see what the Knicks were like, and especially at home at the Garden.
So you got any insider dope for us? I mean, you're a ball player, mate. Who's going to win the whole thing?
I'm going to stick my neck out and say Chicago. You know, they've been pretty awesome of late.
So Stan's a Knicks man, but shock horror, he's going for the Bulls, which will cheer up one of their biggest fans. That's Ian Wright, who's going for the treble. That's the League and Cup with Arsenal and the NBA Championship with Chicago. Meanwhile, over at Stockport, a midfield player there by the name of Martin Nash is also looking forward to the playoffs, but not with the First Division. It's round one of the Western Conference, where his brother Steve is trying to help Phoenix Suns get past San Antonio Spurs, a game you may have seen yesterday on Raw, but what you wouldn't have seen is how neat young Steve is with a football at his feet.
Beautiful move. Steve Nash doing it all.
And last year, when we were chatting last year, he did some remarkable football juggling skills with an enormous basketball, which of course is too easy. Do you think you still got it?
I don't know. It's been a while.
Do you want to test yourself? We can give you as many takes as you feel you need to make sure you look brilliant.
I need one.
Just need the one.
What do you want? Some keep ups?
Any of your special, mate. Yeah, it's all yours. He's still got it. He's still got it.
It's been a while. Oh, he's still got it too.
I never had it.
I meant in the chin.
So San Antonio Spurs lose. Steve is happy. Tottenham Hotspur stay up. He's over the moon because, of course, he is a Tottenham nut. In fact, he may even go in for that fashionable celebration which would grace even the most self-respecting football pitch and terrace, the noble art of raising the roof, as practiced by NBA fan and player alike. But if you're not totally convinced about the move yourself, Miami rap impresario Luke has got a song for you.
Look, it's not that difficult. You just get up, take one hand, the other hand, and just raise the roof.
Biggie Smalls, I thought you was gonna raise the roof.
The Lakers come into the playoffs as one of the hottest teams in the league. They had to face Portland in Game 1, and little man Damon Stoudemire was bombing away. Man, someone called the cops because he was assaulting the rim.
Stoudemire pulls up and sticks his second three-pointer.
Shaquille O'Neal was having his troubles, so Portland jumped on the freeway and did some passing.
Yeah, the double team is coming quickly, and the Portland really pushing the ball as much as the Lakers right now.
Then Shaq Daddy rocked both ends of the court.
Sabonis blocked by O'Neal.
Sabonis just simply opened himself up too much. And
How about this?
The Lakers had the lead as Shaq kept going at Sabonis.
O'Neal. Yep.
Sabonis just gave him too much territory.
10 on the shot clock. Horry makes the play for O'Neal. 3 Blazers went at him. Now O'Neal one-on-one with Sabonis. Yep, and a foul. How do you guard Shaquille O'Neal? Stoudemire leaves it with Wallace. Underneath is Sabonis, and he hooked it in over O'Neal.
Sabonis got some revenge, and Portland's offense kept rolling into halftime with a 6-point lead. Rasheed Wallace and the Blazers were thinking upset. In the third quarter, Shaq had some new battles on his hands. Seemed like everything O'Neal touched turned into a jam.
Underneath O'Neal. Nice dish to Campbell, and a foul on Wallace.
With the score tied, the Lakers were looking for the lead, and they got it big time.
Here's Sam.
The monster jam and a little emotion for the big fella, firing up his teammates.
Kobe the Kid scored 11 points in the fourth quarter to keep LA in it.
Bryant, yep, and a foul.
LA was down 2 points. Portland just kept answering the bell.
Walt Williams, yep, Walt Williams has it stuck on automatic.
The Lakers then got serious. They went on a big run, and of course that Shaq man was at it again. He scored 30 points on the night to give LA a 2-point lead. The Lakers were ready to raise the roof.
Van Exel hits a cold-blooded 3 with 31 seconds left.
LA avoids the upset and takes game 1, but they do have a fight on their hands in the series. The 2 other series in the Western Conference are looking tight. Houston shocked Utah in game 1. Some say the Rockets are too old to beat the Jazz. Well, Barkley and the boys aren't listening. Phoenix and San Antonio are deadlocked at 1. This evenly matched series now swings to the Spurs' home court for games 3 and 4. It should be a real battle. Over in the Eastern Conference, everything's going according to plan. Charlotte owns a 1-0 lead over Atlanta. Glenn Rice had a huge scoring game for the Hornets, and Steve Smith came up big for the Hawks. Indiana is dominating Cleveland. They own a 2-0 lead. Now the Cavaliers must win 3 games in a row to avoid elimination.
He may be Pippin, but you could be popping over to Philadelphia next year to see the big guns doing it live at the All-Star Game. And all you need to do is come through as the ultimate winner of our NBA competition. If you're our weekly winner, you'll go through to the draw taking this hoop and ball affair with you. Well, every week there are also 3 runners-up who will receive prizes including NBA Game Gear, Sony PlayStation with NBA Live 98, or a clutch of NBA bids. Last week we asked you who was the answer, and the answer was the answer, who is Allen Iverson. Congratulations to our winner and runners-up. This week we want to know who the shortest player in the league is. Is it A, John Stockton, B, Muggsy Bogues, or C, Nick Van Exel? So this should be only a little problem for you. Who's the shortest? Call us on 0891 247 247 with your answer. And remember to ask for permission if it's not your phone. Take it away. So that's it for this week's 24/7. Next Saturday morning on Raw, we feature an edge-of-the-seat game from round 1, and then 24/7, we ask the question, is there a Generation X inside the NBA? And we give NBA love to Sir Charles Barkley of the Houston Rockets. See you next week.